Here we are.
Into the great beyond.
Yes,
Set the
yes.
tone, Eshel. Peace.
Greetings, ye shall.
Nice. See brother Abayam out there representing. What's up, brother Abayam? Good to see you, man.
Greetings, blood. Yep, over here getting the homotherapy going.
For sure, for sure. That's good. Keeping the fire burning. Part of the formula.
Part of the formula.
Part of the restorative formula out here
Mm-hmm.
in this frequency shift. Peace, peace, T. Good to see you, sisterin. One love.
Greetings.
Blessed love.
Peace,
Yeah,
peace, family.
peace,
Blessed
peace.
love. All right. Abayam in Lakesh. So yeah, we're just great to be gathered in this frequency. We know folks are going to come in and move through in due time, but just to set the space, we're really honored to take the moment to synchronize from the heart together with all of you in the space at the moment and those yet to come. So giving thanks.
Ashe.
Ashe, Ashe. And now, Bilal, I know you're out there in Atlanta. What's the vibes in the community out there?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's a good vibe out here. You know, this weekend I did feel energy like after that gas scare,
Mm.
or that gas ploy and all of that. And as well as, the mask coming down and everything, it felt like a celebratory energy in the streets. Um, I spent a lot of time like in the West End over the years. That's some of my stumping grounds as well. And it's beautiful, to see the cultural vibes and feel the cultural vibes out there, and and it's great to see a lot of my brethren, my longtime brethren and sistren, moving into a space of creating their own products, and distributing and creating our own products, all the things that we need ourselves. Now we're able to patronize, uh, one another within the family, which feels great to see that growth and evolution.
Absolutely. That's good to hear, man. I know one of the things we want to get into as we explore these ideas and themes is that creative economy. Sounds like that's what you're speaking of in terms of that
Exactly.
mutuality, new economy. You know,
Mhm.
there's a lot happening in the way of sort of the splitting of the worlds too, and I think the new economy in some ways is a real expression of what's emerging and where people are finding themselves at a level of their creativity and what ways in which they're contributing to this shift in the frequency, you know? So that's dope.
Exactly.
Yeah, in light of that, I want to acknowledge Abayam, just to shout out the independent entrepreneurs out here. He's got a great tea line called The Apothecary, so be sure to follow him, in his profile here on Clubhouse. But, he's
Beautiful.
a powerful, powerful service, to bring healing medicines to people, and create ways for people to access information as well as the tools for the transformation.
Exactly. Wow.
Yeah, yeah,
Love
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Love that.
And big up to Tiara in the room. Invite you certainly up to speak if you'd love to offer your voice in the space. And just acknowledging you were with us for the Earth Day event back on April 22nd, the Red Crystal Moon. That was a powerful opportunity of synchronization on so many levels. But it's wonderful to have you in the space here.
Ashe.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for inviting me. I've been on this frequency since then. It's been I feel like I've been led to this ever since the soul cleanse and all of that. Just and then planet restoration. That was a whole euphoric experience, and just it gave me a good idea, especially for Lao, like with the the SoundCloud deal. Like, oh my goodness, it's really helping me to learn how to take my creativity and content creating and turn it into a real live frequency, because it's like there we don't know which way to go or what to do to raise the frequency, and the best way is through our art. So I'm thank you.
Wow. Give thanks for sharing that energy as well. Cause oh man, I mean, I feel like it's important for us to inspire each other and just keep the energy multiplying in that way. And just a little while ago, I was thinking about something that Makua dropped on me a few days ago about how the pattern. I mean, he can go more in depth with this though. The pattern of the spiral uh, of this new time frequency is in the other. It's counterclockwise. So how to spin out of the Gregorian, the Babylonian frequency and spin into this other frequency. And what was coming to mind was it's through the art. It's through, this type of thing. So as we're able to share it, as we're able to experience each other, it's helping us spiral out of this false frequency, something more organic and powerful.
Ashe, ashe. Wow, that's blessed to hear the resonance with your art, Tiara. That's amazing, and I'm looking forward to hearing what that sounds like, how that's coming through.
Yeah, me too.
It's real, yeah.
Thank you. Thank
One
you.
one thing that one thing that comes to mind listening to all of you speaking and what you said, Brother Bilal, about the spiral and the geometry, right? And it's you're saying, we're saying time is art. One of my housemates is taking this class on mandalas. You're creating mandalas or yantras, right? Geometric that emit a frequency that that in itself, because when we talk about geometry, it starts with the right, and then the point turns into 2 points, right? And you draw a line between those 2 points, and then you have shapes, and each from one point to a point is time, right? That's time, and we're creating art through this time. So just looking at the title, time is art frequency shift. That's the first thing that came to mind. Like, it's the geometry and the way that planets are moving through the cosmos is creating that geometry, you know um so it was just something that came to mind just now, like a connection with title.
Yeah, I think it's a powerful reflection, bro. Especially in light of the fact that we are creators, we're artists in that sense, and working through sound and number, and as you say, the trajectory of these points as geometries. We are, we're always creating some aspect of our experience in that way. I think it's true, and there can be real deliberate creation too once we become attuned to particular creative frequencies. I think one thing Bilal mentioned too, in identifying the direction of the spiral, like in the clockwise time of the consciousness lock of the tick-tock clock, that whole structure, it goes what they call clockwise. The spirals in nature actually go in the opposite direction, which is counterclockwise. So it is, in the way Bilal was saying, spinning out of the constriction of sorts. Or even as I hear about it, like we're in this time loop. So we're repeating certain patterns and cycles. And one of my elders, Audrey Scott Williams, says in order to get out of that time loop, you have to make a 90-degree shift. So there's also something in terms of knowing that we have choice to continue a particular pattern or not, or we have the opportunity and the choice to make that certain shift.
That's deep. I just want to add, today has been a day where I've had clients all day long, and I do what is called marma therapy, which is it's the energy healing system, the Ayurvedic energy healing system from India, and it's similar to like acupuncture, except we don't use needles. But on these points, these marma points along the body, there's a certain directional spin that we use if we want to put energy in or clear energy out. And that counterclockwise spin is to clear energy out. So, the spiral that you're mentioning, I wonder if that's, indicative of a cleansing, or a unraveling of sorts.
Exactly. Wow. Yeah, it makes me also think of unwinding because the this this monetary based system has us all wound up. So winding out and up. So that's to say, as we're winding out, yes, we're winding back to nature, though as we're winding up, we're going somewhere we've never been before. Taking the lessons that we may have learned in Lemuria or Kemet or, you know, and going upward, so spiraling up. So it's powerful.
Mm, well said.
It's interesting as you say that. It makes me think of when you look at the arms of the galaxy, when you posit images from the Hubble telescope or other instruments of the galaxy, and we usually see them in spiral formations. Part of the perhaps that clearing out is kind of part of the energy of the galaxy in a way, because we're right now going through this frequency shift where things are being corrected, things that have been out of alignment are being brought into alignment. And this is kind of the action in a way of the density wave of the photon energy of the galaxy. It's like this evolutionary thrust that's literally cleansing us out from, we could say, 5 of a dislocation from the natural way, right? And so we talk understanding where time, in terms of how we look at the solar year and the mathematical frequency of that, where there's a desynchronous one that's created by, huddling together these various counts of the Gregorian calendar. In the natural time lens, there's a smooth process through which then it's like everything begins to follow the pattern of synchrony. So it's a really interesting thing to apply. What I like to say is apply the fourth dimensional lens to third dimensional affairs. Because then when we look at the situations that we're facing as a global community, be what's happening as well as, in Colombia right now, one of our friends will join the call soon, hopefully, who's in Bogota, with now, a 16-day revolution of the people who in their own way are like moving through a situation that's been very dense for decades in terms of the level of corruption and things like that. But all this stuff has got to move out. And so when we look even at the tones of the natural time sequence, there are 13 tones. The eighth tone is called galactic tone. And the essence of the galactic tone is integrity. So if we think about where we are right now, sort of in our planet's evolution, the evolution of our solar system, we're coming through like an integrity check where the galaxy is ensuring our integrity. And those things that aren't vibrating at a certain level of integrity are getting, in many ways, dissolved and dispersed. So on the 3D, we're seeing a lot of resistance from letting go from things that aren't actually in sync or frequency with nature or where nature's heading in its evolution. It's a real interesting thing, but I like to have that lens through which to perceive the third dimensional stuff that's happening so as not to get caught into it, but to recognize these cycles. Because obviously these things have come around and around in cyclic form. And as B said, we're also now spiraling out of it in a different trajectory. So it's an extremely exciting time, as far as I'm concerned, and it's just amazing. And I want to invite Manifest. Hey, brother, good to see you, man. I want to certainly invite you in to share your piece as well. Anybody else, feel free to unmute and just flow. Love this conversation.
It's a pleasure, the blessing to be here, everyone. Just greetings, Core and everyone here, and to be in this sacred circle of love and light and divine empowerment. So glad to be here.
Peace, brother. Good to see
Peace.
you. Good to hear you.
Likewise, likewise, good brother. Thank you so much for sharing, for holding the space for all of us.
Give
Oh,
thanks, give thanks. Yeah, bro, give thanks, Manifest. Give thanks, everyone, for adding on energy. I feel like it's a big part of, pushing it along and and energizing uh, a field, energizing a field of energy, that and activating it, you know what I'm saying? So it's a blessed thing. One thing I was going to mention is that in these clubhouses we plan to along the theme of time is art, to share some of our arts, to have the opportunity to share, even if it's just a word, that you have that's organized. It could be poetry, it could be a concept, a song, it could be a melody, though I feel like it's a part of, as we put it out there, that's a projection that we can step into and feel it activated in real life, and it can move us along. Because it's funny, like for me, I'm in the habit of watching like some of the late night shows. You got your Jimmy Fallons and your Jimmy Kimbal's and your this and that and all these, and then you got your Saturday Night Lives and all of this. Though as of late, as I'm resonating to a particular frequency, it's like I'm feeling an energy coming off of this, uh, um, what do you call it, uh, off of this programming that feels like weird, you know, and it's like, I feel like it's going to be more and more important to see how our art is playing out in the shift of, and the splitting of realities, if I would say, and the shift of energy, um and I almost feel like, yeah, maybe there will be, multiple realities. Some people will be living out this particular reality, whilst there will be a new world. Though it's our art and entertainment and programming that will help push us along on that road, I feel, So yeah.
That's real. And speaking of that art, I was going to say too, uh, Tiara, if you have anything on deck you want to share, you can put your to help us all as we're together. We shift the frequency. You know what I mean? So I want to celebrate the fact that you're an artist as well and honor that. So give thanks for your presence.
you, I appreciate that. I'm geeking. But I didn't expect that. But so while I'm looking on YouTube for some of the projects I've worked on, I have a, I don't want to call it a business. It's basically a frequency. It's an energy, called IC Content Creations, and it's more so based around mental health. I'm a mental health advocate, and now now that I've gone through the emotions of self-care, self-awareness, going through um the shadow work, going within to get out. I've been changing my perspective about mental health, and it's literally more so about um going within to get out, and also just connecting your inner self. The more we connect our inner self, the more we start seeing everybody around us as our own divine light and stuff like that. So that's what I promote pretty much. Let's see. um Let's see. I gotta take the speakers off. I also did a mental health documentary a while back called Inside My Mind, if you ever want to check it out. But this is one of my favorite projects right here. It's called Power Stretch. And this is also on YouTube. If Here we go.
Can it get any closer to the speaker? Cause I'd love to hear it more.
Okay. All right, that's yeah, but I put the video together and did the beats and the music and everything. That's just one, but yeah, that's pretty much what I'm on now, and just bringing awareness back to self, raising the vibration within,
Take
and
back the
connecting back
power.
to earth. Take
What?
back your power.
Come
Yes.
on, I love that. I'm feeling that.
Woo!
I'm feeling
Thank
that.
you.
Love
Thank you.
that.
Yeah, that's what time it is. Creative sovereignty.
Yeah,
Stand in your power. That's real. Be that.
thank you.
Let's be that who you were sent to this planet to be. Mm.
Ashe. Thank you for letting me play that. I appreciate it.
Brother Manifest, I want to check in if you have any wisdom to posit. You want to chime in and share some of your insights. What's on the heart right now?
Sure. We have to, well, what is wise for us to do? We don't have to do anything. Is to uh, ask what is the most elevated and enlightened approach we can take during these intense planetary shifts that are happening right now. With the 3D matrix of illusion um, melting away, if so to speak, and those who are uh, wherever they are in their incarnation, choosing in their own sovereignty, whether that's out of fear or out of insecurity or scarcity or whatever that may be, um, making decisions um, that may not necessarily be in their best personal interest or the interest of the human family. What is the most elevated and enlightened approach we can take? Um, that's a conversation I've been having with myself today. Um, with family members, with just watching some videos and taking jewels of insight just on being compassionate, loving, firmly standing in my truth, my understanding of what is the truth, what is happening, um, but also understanding that that's not where everyone else is. And so, um, having that love for humanity, family members or friends who are making decisions, not necessarily what I perceive to be in their right mind, in their right state of being. Because when we talk to some of these people, and they're beautiful people, they do have, some of them have a sense of buyer's remorse, of guilt, of confusion, um, not quite knowing whether the decision that they made was the best decision or the most authentic decision. So, um, I ask myself, what is the most enlightened behavior that I can model that is loving, but and yet authentic to what is needed in terms of what I'm channeling. And so, what I receive with that is stand in my truth, walk, living my truth. Um, do not judge. Simply allow my light to shine, to illuminate the room, if you will, those around me. And if people are um, receiving insight or waking to some extent simply by our being, and I think that's the best way to do it, is move beyond a lot of the talking and just our being, our that person that walks through the door, that is firmly present in family Zoom calls or whatever, and it's just loving. People say, "Well, how come you didn't take it? How come you didn't do this? Or how come you didn't do that?" I'm talking about the jab right now. And we're unmoved. I mean, we're still loving, we're still clear, authentic to who we are. I think that um, lack of judgment on our part, that firmness on being authentic, yet also being loving and compassionate, transmutes the fear. And we will probably find some of these people, at least, inquiring about what they can do to shift, to mitigate some things, to eliminate some things, to actually take a more holistic approach to this planetary shift that is going on, where they don't necessarily have to make decisions based off of fear. Because in this awakening, I mean, there is an awakening. Some folks are choosing to still be sleep, and so time as art is very important, because music, visuals, events, modalities such as agniculture and qigong, and so many other modalities go beyond words, if you will, that can clearly be argumentative and how can I say it, challenging to what people are holding on to. But inviting people to actually experience um, some cleansing modalities, some poetry, playing some music that will raise the vibration. All of these things that we're talking about, time is art, I think are transformative. They go beyond the mere words, and whether it's the sound advice, the sound therapy, um, the culture itself, the art, the how can I say it, enlightened artistic nature of what we're doing. That um, how can I say it, blazes a path. It moves humanity forward. And so, I've kind of really had to ask myself that in the past couple of days. Is there anything I need to tweak and refine within myself to be a better servant of humanity, to be the more loving brother, the more loving son, the more loving um, being in the community that can, again, help shift a lot of the fear that we see on the planet. And so I have a poem, if I may, if I may share that.
Oh yeah.
All righty, here we go. Our universe is mental. From the depths of our souls to our bodies' temples, we're all filled with divine potential. We can overcome any disease with ease and knock our bad habits down to its knees. Our thoughts are telepathic, can't be measured by mathematics, flowing like water, never static. We can even empower the neighborhood drug addict. We can predict the future, live in the present, go back in time, all at the drop of a dime. We can meditate, contemplate, levitate, manifest, and create something out of absolutely nothing. We can close our eyes and visualize and repeat a few words of power, manifest exactly what we need in less than an hour. You say the universe is mental. Well, manifest Ra, if the universe is mental, then why are so many people falling short of their divine potential? I want you to think about it. In every room in the American home, there's a TV with some whack message going straight to your dome. Talking heads being paid big money to give you the nightly blues. Sorry, I meant the nightly news, but it's not a lot on there that you and I could really use. Just say no. Nancy Reagan said that a long time ago. Just say no to drugs and try to be your best. But if you get a simple headache or stomach pain, they tell you to go down the street to CVS and that you forget about using your divine empowerment. People, let's come out to the matrix. The universe is 99.9% empty space, just waiting for our imaginations to turn into manifestations. Our universe is mental.
Woo-wee.
Yeah, brother.
Oh Lord.
I love about this moment is that this feels like actually a very regenerative, co-creative space. And everybody's energy who's just in the space right now is perfect, is meant to be here, and we're all causing this thing, as you said, to keep moving forward, to keep growing. So give thanks for that creative contribution to this moment, this momentum.
Jay,
So,
One thing I have to hell up about that is just, you know, when you experience something, like, you got to bear witness when you experience something that's true, you know,
mhm,
like, and it's not. I found it to be not very often in in the Babylon construct that you encounter something that true.
mhm.
You know, that's food for me. Like, that's my playground. Like, so give thanks. I love it.
Shay, thank you so much.
Yes, yes. And I guess on that note, I would like to share a tune. This is a classic Sons of Light tune right here. Though I feel like it will, you know, it can possibly put us in a space. So just, let's see, just flow with me on this one. Alright, here it comes.
Manifest, can you mute yourself real quick?
Crown Prince, Taj Mahal. We going way back. Cloud Nine. On the banks of Kemet, love was infinite. In the halls of Timbuktu, studying more truth. And I'll be oh so glad when the ancient ways return. Oh yeah, 'cause we must return to learn. Say hope for y'all. It's like this. Building with the Olmecs, deciphering codex. And learning from the yogis the knowledge of immortality. And I'll be oh so glad when the ancient ways return. 'Cause we must return to learn. Remember the ancient civilization of Kemet. The 42 laws of my art is splendid. I can actually say it that we made it descendants. Although we strayed from the way, there's repentance. If we actually knew what our great ancestors been through, making the way for me and you. Yo, I gotta stay true. 'Cause really, in fact, I didn't choose to be black. But since I'm in this skin, I'ma represent that. 'Cause there's Jews within the old school, picking up tools from the days when pharaohs ruled. I'm no fool, the heroes were known as Heru, and women lived virtuously, obeying God's rules. But now we're lost and confused. What happened to us? Go from the heights to down in the dust, and Kofa's a must for the children, if there's any hope for rebuilding the future. And I'll be oh so glad when the ancient ways return. 'Cause we must return to learn. Oh, yeah. Mighty Ethiopia was the throne of Woo! It continues. It continues. I just wanted to give y'all a little splash of that.
Just some taste, flavor.
Okay, that's my big
What?
Yes, yes.
brother, Master Maharaj Taj
Taj
Ustadi.
Maharaj.
Yes, yes, he has some powerful, amazing music. So that's a little splash of Sons of Light for y'all.
Ancient ways, ancient ways.
Little splash.
What? I want to big up our brother Ruben Ginas. Welcome, brother, all the way from Bogota, Colombia, tuning in as we shift the frequency. As you're right on time. Of course, everything is on time. You want to unmute yourself if you want to jump in the conversation or just sit back and enjoy. In any case, glad to have you here. Hey,
I
hey,
was
hey, hey.
muted. In Lakesh, brother.
Alakin, Alakin.
Uh, Happy to join the conversation and be part of the transformation.
Yeah.
And happy to tune in from Colombia. I was actually having like a brief conversation with my nieces who are here at the moment and speaking about everything, all these transformations that are taking place and how Colombia is like a focus of attention
Mm,
around the world and how important is to our future what is happening here and what is happening in the world. This is there's this new energy and it's expressing in different ways and in Colombia we have the full spectrum of that expression and so we can see from a lot of chaos in the streets to manifestations of joy and harmony and people taking the streets but with music and with art and expressing their dreams and their visions instead of those things that we don't want to manifest anymore but more in the things that brings us joy and brings us together as human beings. So it's really
Tahoe.
really powerful. Yes, thank you so much for opening the room for everyone to bring their perspectives and their visions of the future and keep the energy moving. So important right now. Coherent, very coherent.
Definitely. Thank you so much for tuning in, bro, and send our aloha to your nieces there. These young minds are super important in this time to this shift. I mean, I can't even imagine being their age in this type of world which they're inheriting right now, so it's amazing. And yet they also come equipped with the capacities to navigate these waters.
Yes,
So it's good though that
yes.
you're a presence for them and helping provide some equilibrium and balance, knowing that, sometimes it's like the balancing act, you know, parenthood alone is a balancing act, but then certainly when you're dealing with different worldviews within the family and within the dynamics, Manifest was kind of speaking to some of that as well, and being in a space of compassion for each other while also really asserting universal truths that they can build on and grow from. So I applaud you for being a presence in their lives the way you are.
Thank you. Thank you. Actually, yeah, it took me longer because we are creating they are creating their own vision boards, and so we were looking for magazines and for inspirational images for them to really tune in into that creation energy of creation of the new, envisioning the new.
Absolutely. That's exactly what's up. I mean, I get this sense. I mean, obviously the theme of the room of this event here is time is art, frequency shift, but it as an event goes, it's like this event, right? It's like cosmological event where people are in large masses consciousness being shuttled into their creativity. I've been really tuning into this recently, just this idea like we're moving into a greater sense of connection and having the courage to be art and be in the heart when the world may say otherwise, you know.
Mm,
And so this is an amazing shift in the balance of things. And I'm really, really just inspired to hear everybody, really speaking from a creative lens, like through a creative sort of perspective.
mm,
That's definitely what we
mm,
look for this space to grow and encourage and to invite, and tonight, we'll wrap this up in about 20 minutes or so, but the idea was to
mhm,
plant the seeds of this space tonight, and then as we go, it grows and that kind of thing,
mm,
and we can get more into the conversation as things move on into some of the dynamic timelines that I know you have spent a lot of the past 10 years helping people make conscious. I think one of the
mm.
things that's really important right now is, you know, the things that have been in the shadow, as Tiara was talking about, doing that shadow work, and moving through our stuff, to get to the next stage of our personal and planetary evolution. Like we're all doing that in different various ways, and I think it's just really something to celebrate, you know, certainly, and something to amplify in spaces like this. And
Yes.
eventually, as we grow this energy and synthesize, energize everything, we can, come together in physical spaces in the future in other various ways.
Mm,
But certainly, I'm excited. I mean, here, I'll invite Ishel maybe to speak about it herself. But I mean, right here at the house, I mean,
mhm.
she and Zachy, her son, have been in a creative space the past couple of days, painting amazing pictures, and just to hear your
Mm.
nieces are doing vision boards, and that's kind of part of the whole purpose of having this space is that we actually collaborate in this creative experience and this opportunity, you know quantum manifestation
Yes,
on a
of
whole
course.
creative frequency
In real time, yeah.
in real time,
Now time.
in now time. And I think, again, I was saying earlier before you came on the call that I've appreciated the gift of the natural time lens of 13 months 28 days is sort of the base timing for our calendar, but calendars affect consciousness. So I've been living according to that time frequency for 20 years now myself. And all this time, it's always been some creative kind of facilitation. I've known Manifest for that duration as well. We've collaborated in many ways over the years, and just each of us, and then Bilal and I for quite a long time have had a lot of creative collaboration, and just to appreciate now, nearly a generation later, 20 years now, it's like I'm excited to see people living into their creativity with greater freedom, because being kind of in the curve of the spiral, some of the sequences before, it's like you're out there, you feel like, okay, is this really, what's up? Where's everybody at? And not really feeling too many people are getting it. And yet, even something as small as this little gathering now is just encouragement to keep going and continue to hold the space and to energize it like this.
Yes, of course, and it's important to open these new virtual channels. I'm actually this is my first experience with this platform, and it's today according to the calendar is it's a Skywalker that is the energy of exploring new spaces, and this is a new virtual space to explore and to expand and be part of that shift and that transformation of how we communicate and how we interact. So it would be also nice to hear, well, especially from you, that you open the space to tap into what are the potential and the possibilities within this platform, and how can we expand the energy to within the same platform to invite more people and expand the conversation under this lens of time is art. Mm.
That's a great question. I think what I've found so far with Clubhouse, I've had some limited experience. It's a
Mm.
matter of kind of getting getting out there and seeing who's around, finding rooms that resonate with you, and going in and following people in those spaces. And in turn, people invariably will follow you as well. The more visible you are kind of in the space, people will know you're here. And then, through some promotion on Instagram perhaps or Facebook, you can invite people to join you in Clubhouse. And I think if we are here as more of a consistent beat frequency, then people will come to know maybe every Sunday night at Dolly Day we might be in a space like this around this time to hold a beautiful creative forum like what I have enjoyed seeing is happening organically tonight with some poetry and music and vibes and consciousness. So I think that art leads, like lead from the heart, lead from the art, and invite people into the space because people have a lot to express. And I mean, I think this is a great way to engage people, encourage and inspire, and as we say, unify and inform ourselves, get information together, and navigate what's ahead. So yeah, I think it's very organic. I think it's a matter of just letting people know. We have cross platforms like our Facebooks, as I said, and encouraging people to subscribe on YouTube and create like a sort of a weaving of these platforms. And Heal Humanity, for example, is another wonderful platform Manifest Ra has, as well as Abayam has his works with the Apothecary, and Tiara has her music and creative works, and looking for ways to engage people at various points of their interest or their expertise, be it like mental health, or be it like natural time, or the arts, or well-being, etc. So it's an opportunity I see, and it's organic again in the sense that we entered the space loosely with a theme to just allow to see what emerges, in an organic way too. But obviously, we have the intention of helping make people aware of some of the events like the Day Out of Time, July 25th, and what that
Mhm.
means to the 13-month, 28-day natural time year. And then there's things that Bilal's involved with, specifically on the ground, related with planet restoration and beyond, that we're looking forward to bringing to people's awareness as we grow and inspire participation. There's a big Juneteenth event coming up next month with our friends who are leading it in Atlanta. So we're going to be looking to maybe get them into the clubhouse to talk about the intersection of you know, like the narratives that we have the chance to share and tell about our communities, and that in light of various cultural and spiritual lenses. So we have a little bit of noise in the background here. I'm going to mute, but I invite anybody else to step up and share.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention, just to speak to the theme that we have here, PR1328 frequency shift, time is art. The frequency shift, and time is art. I feel like it speaks to uh, a shift from what we, you know, uh, a shift from the currency to the art, right? And what we're putting our energy and focus into, right? So um, I feel like as we're sharing this art, we're we're projecting the new world, and we're like you said, Ruben, in real time, we're activating and exemplifying this shift in the present, and that's the only place anything ever happens, is in the moment, in the present. So it's a high technology type of thing that we're doing when we're sharing this new art that's filled with meaning and purpose and heart and reality, and we're affirming this new world. We're affirming this shift, and we're putting our energy and focus in a place, in a somewhere that's more substantial, something that's eternal, which is true, which is, reality, which is nature, which I feel like nature is a reflection of the Most High. It's a way um, that the Creator is communicating. So I feel like it's. I just wanted to speak to the fact that time is art. You know, it's without saying, without even bringing up, what we look at as valuable currency right now. It speaks to a shift, of time and energy and belief, and focus. And so I just wanted to say it's beautiful to see us all exemplifying that and um, experiencing that in the moment, because each moment uh, has effect on the next moment and has an effect. Each ripple has an effect on something next as well. So it's a beautiful thing. Give thanks.
That's powerful. One thing that stood out for me is in that word moment is the word momentum too. Like it's connected, right? And this is building momentum. Like momentum is like moment to moment, concentration, focus, crystallization. So I was just kind of getting a sense of that as well in the space. We got a few minutes left. I want to invite anybody, who has any insights or any inspiration to share. I want to, anybody out here who wants to,
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
please.
Um, so when you were talking about the clockwise related to the Gregorian and then the counterclockwise as the natural, I've been wondering for a while why it was so natural, even when I stir, when I turn, like all kind of stuff, it's so natural for me to go counterclockwise. And I knew, like, I watched a video a long time ago doing qigong and stuff like that, and I remember him saying a different energy between the two, but I could not remember, and you just confirmed so much. And I was thinking, like, as far as the righty tighty, everything is, there's so much pressure in the now, you know what I'm saying? Well, in the 3D, there's
Yeah.
so much pressure, you know what I'm saying? And it's getting tighter and tighter. And becoming the flow and just tapping in, with the breath, with the connection to energy, and the earth and the sun, the elements. It causes us to slow down, and in a sense, like that, turning the counterclockwise, it's loosening the pressure and calming, you know what I'm saying, this energy down, and to
Absolutely.
and to make space for the universe to work. You know what I'm saying? For the energy to flow. And that's what I got from that too. So that's pretty deep. I appreciate that.
Give thanks for your reflections too. Wow, that's powerful. Just movement, movement is so much movement and direction. It's kind of brought me to the idea of like asking today, even like, what's the plan? What's the direction of our movement? With that in mind, with this idea of moving with ease and grace, which is more that counterclockwise flow, like you're speaking of. It's like that's goals. That's the real. That's the that's the option I'm choosing personally. I found that to be really far better for me. You know what I mean? The way I'm wired. So, but it's powerful how it does relate to the flow, these patterns of energy and everything in nature. So getting in tune and in sync with that, that's real. That's real gold. So, greetings, Miali, in the room. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're just going to wrap up here in about 5 minutes, but certainly would love to invite you to offer your presence in the room, unless you just want to listen as well. Wonderful to have you here. Indeed, indeed. So, Ruben, I'd love to invite you or Abayam to share any parting thoughts as we wrap this space. And we're going to be doing this on a consistent basis. We're going to really look to get into that frequency of, every 7 days, just to kind of grow, hold the space and grow, and grow it to its potential.
Of course. Yeah, well, it's kind of to round up also the the clockwise and anti-clockwise, like tuning to these two frequencies is we were speaking recently about these two forces that are um, exemplified by the two frequencies and the artificial time, the clockwise time is money, the time of the machine creates entropy, and the natural time creates syntropy. And this word syntropy is kind of a new word too, and it's kind of derived from permaculture, but is one step above permaculture. It's like how we can create like um, environments that are regenerative by nature, and that they need just a minimum investment of energy, and they recreate these thanks to the syntropy that is generated. They create these effortless generation of abundance and resources, and the beautification of the planet without actually putting much energy into it, but just keep it enough to allow the energy to move. And then so creating these spaces and opening the opportunity for more people to join and experience a little bit more what is natural time, how it can benefit our lives is super important. So thank you for the invitation to be part of the dialogue, and looking forward for the coming one. Yeah, I certainly feel that this is the right time and the right space to have these conversations. And thank you for having the initiative to opening it.
Give thanks for your presence, brother. And peace to the family in Colombia right now. And we just send our prayers and good energy out here in all directions, really, with all our relations. Because it's a significant shift at every corner of this planet. So as we hold each other in that compassion, I think Manifest Ra was speaking of that before he left the conversation, but really that heart space, like I know Bilal really helps anchor in this way too. So yeah, we give thanks for the presence of all of you on the planet right now. And Brother Abayam, any thoughts?
I'm just this is also my first time really engaging in the Clubhouse, and I couldn't think of a better group to engage with than this one. And I'm truly honored. And to what Ruben was saying, the perpetual energy that's going to be created through this, it's going to have a snowball effect, because I know that these types of conversations are very necessary, in the time that we're in. And so many people are looking for these types of conversations. So just thank you for holding the space, thank you for organizing, Brother Makua and Ishel and Brother Bilal and Ruben, the rest of you. And I know this is going to mount to something very big.
Ashe, give thanks.
Give thanks, big brother.
Yeah. Now I know I don't know, Bilal, did you have that serious tones? Do we have any of those up? We can maybe go out on that if you feel it. I mean, it's all good. But in the space of, taking us home on some high resonance.
Yes, yes, give thanks. And I I look forward to hearing more and more vibes, more and more ideas, more and more art from the family, uh, ones that are to join later. Everyone that's here. So yeah, and I enjoy everything that was shared. Um, all right, so yeah, this is one of the tunes from our EP, The Great Conjunction, and that project was based around the serious codes, which are based on uh, the serious. I want to say revolutions, but the cycles, serious cycles and things. So I'm going to play Great Conjunction for you all. This is, I guess, the title track of the EP. So here we go. On a vibe, we can see the planets in the sky. It's Great Conjunction. You and I, you and me together, love alive. It's Great Conjunction. Even when I close my eyes, I see the planets, they aligning in the sky in cosmos. Feel the vibes of the spurs in your mind, of the shine. Baby, won't you come close? And we will in my arms with your cosmic natural charms. And you miss you, I love you the most. Yeah, yeah, you put on side and fiddle, cause it better. It's good as traveling on a solar on a high road. Look alive, I can see the vision in the eyes. Great conjunction, you and I, you and me together, love alive. It's great conjunction. We've arrived. You can do the numbers, little light. It's great conjunction. On a vibe, we can see the planets in the sky. It's great conjunction. You see, the Vatican people say that one Jupiter aligned with Saturn, the configuration will be that the furthest away planet, Pluto, will serve as a stargate, and then through the stargate, many beings and our mother and all the rest of it will come through. So now let us continue on our this way. You see, the blue umbrellas coming through Pluto, the stargate. Can you see? This is what is happening right now. The mother, Ama, or Hazel, or the blue one brothers, the indigenous people. You see? And where will our mother be coming from? Our mother can only come from the Stargate. The Stargate is where? Pluto.
What Dr.
All
Ando
right, all
suggests.
right.
Yes,
There we
yes, that was
are.
featuring Dr. Ando,
What?
the great
Yeah.
botanist. and Dogon priest, elder.
Ashe, Ashe.
Dr. Under
Yes.
the Truth, man. That was a beautiful
Yes.
track, brother. Thanks for
Woo!
sharing.
Give thanks.
Ashe, Ashe.
Yes, that's such a vibe. Such a vibe.
Oh, give
And
thanks, family.
For sure. Wow. Well, that feels like a fitting way to segue us into the next moment, all of our next moments, respectively. And just, I'm excited. We can do the numbers, they don't lie. PR1328 is all about the numbers. Like, let's be clear. As in, we look forward to getting into like sharing and journeying together into what these numbers, these frequencies are communicating to us. There's a lot of timelines being synthesized and harmonized right now, and we just want to take that fourth dimensional lens into looking at these third dimensional affairs so that we shift from harm to harmony. You know, that's really the intention behind this effort, you know, creatively and as a community, as a global family. So give thanks, and definitely in the excitement, anticipation, and gratitude for those who have yet to come and those who will join the space, you know, as things grow and evolve. So,
And
Ashe.
a shift from the focus on currency to a focus on frequency.
Hey, hey,
There we go. The
Ashe.
new currency,
Mm,
frequency.
Ashe.
The new new.
That new. So, yeah, peace and love to y'all. And we look forward to connecting in due time on the frequency.
One love, love y'all.
Ashe,
Oneness.
Peace,
Peace.
peace.
Tierra. Give thanks for your energy.
Thank you.
Word
So
up,
much.
Abayam. Great connecting.
Likewise,
Ruben.
brother.
Yeah, it's a big honor just to be in the room with such great souls. Yashel,
Ashe.
give thanks for the support and, you know, the faith, because I know Makua and I on some real cosmonaut vibes.
I'm all
So,
about that vibe. That's the frequency, and that's what makes
yeah,
me excited, to be in these groups and hear about Dr. Ando and learn about Jose Arguelles' teachings. And I'm looking forward to the future conversations where we get more in depth about the synchronicities and the divine timings of things. And I'm just super stoked. Thank you for having me.
ashe, ashe, give
And I
thanks.
feel like everyone was picking up on my telepathy because I that is what the frequency is. You know, is is coming together and having these conversations, as Abayans was saying, how important it is. And
Mm, mm,
thank you, all of you.
absolutely. Brother Ruben, bless up. Tierra, give thanks. Abayam, blessed love, brother. Brother Bilal.
Blessings to all of you, and it's also an honor to be participating from South America with such a great group from the north, and in this way weaving the energy and the new the new timelines, that are certainly part of the shift is the energy shifting to America, and to bring this, expand this energy to the entire planet. So thank you so much for the opportunity again, and for holding the space, and keep that kundalini moving through the planet. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Just to let y'all know, too, we're here holding down an Agnihotra fire. We're about to go into the sunset fire for today. Today is the 29th day in a row that Ishel and I've been doing the sunrise sunset here overlooking Tongva land, what's called the LA City Basin here. But you can see all the banks and all the skyscrapers right there. But this energy, just so you know, the Agnihotra transmutes negativity within a mile radius from wherever a pyramid is activated. So we're down here and just doing this transmutation work. And also today, just for y'all to check into, Marina Jacobi, who's one of our allies out here with quantum manifestation, the harmonic reactor, she was sharing that today in particular, there's a pulse happening that is going to uh, become more evident how the false sort of system is just operating on steam, if you will. It's like, on its last legs, and that a lot of the leaders in particular are going to appear to be disjointed and kind of discombobulated and things like this. And it's a result of that frequency mismatch because they're not on the frequency of Aria, which is the fifth dimension name of Earth. And we know on the Earth Day event there was an activation of Aria. You know what I'm saying? And in light of that activation, this has been part of the completion of that cycle. And we've just been holding this fire here too, just as a compliment in light of that. So just wanted to share that as a parting acknowledgement in this work together and just all that we're doing together energetically.
Yo, one thing I want to share just real quick. Yesterday, I'm in the West End hanging out with Baba, and this man comes up. He owns all of this land, I guess, in I forget what it's called, Lithia Springs or something out here. And he's showing Baba. He tells Baba now, Baba Nasi, Baba G. He's telling Baba now on his land, all of these artifacts are just coming up out of the earth, coming up on, they're washing up on shore. Um, whatever the ancient land that he's on now, this stuff is coming up, and he's showing pictures of these Olmec Buddha heads, all jade, all of these crystal artifacts, pyramids, this, that, and the other, and he's inviting cats like, you got to come down and see it. And basically, like, these artifacts are telling him and pulling him, like, bring the ones, you know who this stuff is, bring them here to see this and reclaim, and so that's just to say this stuff is happening on a real level, in a real way, in many areas of the earth and in many modes of life
In real time.
in real time. Yes, man. So be encouraged.
Yeah, you got to
Be
go down there and
encouraged.
record, interview the elder, man. Get him on audio so we can share that on a future share here, or maybe we bring that to the visual on YouTube Live or something like that. But in any
Hey.
case, that's powerful.
hmm Yes,
Giving
it's coming
thanks,
in.
giving thanks. Nashe. All
Amen.
right, y'all. Blessed love, and we look forward to the next link. All right.
Bro,
Aloha. Yeah.
bro. Just wanted to wrap it up um with that mantra. I and the earth
I
are
am
one.
one with the earth.
Mm-hmm.
The earth and myself are one mind.
Ashe, ashe.
Asheo.
Give thanks.